Anarcho-capitalism isn't lawlessness, it's simply law without rulers. I uphold property titles as deduced from the first principle of non-aggression. Unlike self-ownership, state law jails peaceful people for contracts and speech. Since the state routinely violates consent and property, it is inherently criminal. AnCap is about consensual legal order, where arbitration replaces state courts and competitive insurers replace police. If you respect property and oppose aggression, you already accept the basic terms of AnCap, even if you haven't read Rothbard. AnCap means no rulers. I don't care if they wear a badge, a robe, or a crown. Authority doesn't become valid because it's popular or official. I'm not here to beg the state to be nicer. I want people to stop obeying it. War, school, surveillance, prisons, borders, taxes, all of it is coercion. Let people live, associate, build, and create on their own terms. No, I don't think savings is theft. I'm here to destroy unjust hierarchy. AnCap means I live on my land and nobody bothers me. I grow my food, fix my tools, filter my water, and carry my own defense. I trade with neighbors, stock what I need, and I don't wait for permission. Government screeches in with paperwork, permits, and price hikes, and I don't even care about politics. I care about being ready in any crisis. AnCap means I decide how to live, and I'm not asking for anyone's permission. Why wait for freedom when we can build it now? AnCap means experimenting with private cities, floating platforms, startup governance, and new legal frameworks. I want communities with competing courts, with real exit options, and rules chosen like products. Most people think we're stuck in the same system forever. I don't. I'm not waiting for permission to innovate. AnCap means freedom engineered on land, online, and offshore. AnCap is the logical outcome of price theory. Remove statist interference and capital flows where it creates the most value. Regulation distorts incentives, taxes misallocate resources, central banks disrupt interest rates. Without these interventions, we can get accurate signals, efficient markets, and real innovation. Law becomes a service, security becomes competitive, public goods become entrepreneurial. This isn't utopia, it's incentives done right. I follow Christ, not Caesar. I don't support the state because no man has divine authority over another. Romans 13 calls obedience a matter of conscience, not blind submission. Jesus taught love. He didn't collect taxes or run an army. The prophet Samuel tried to warn people statism isn't what God wants for them. Voluntarism honors life, property, and consent. AnCap reflects a biblical social order of community built on voluntary service, not coercion. I once trusted government regulations to protect the planet. They just banned nuclear while subsidizing industrial pollution. Then I saw how private property actually solves the tragedy of the commons. When people own land and water, they care for it. Markets reward conservation. AnCap challenges socialism's top-down environmental theory with bottom-up stewardship and accountability. I oppose war in all forms. The state uses force domestically and abroad, claiming authority by default. AnCap rejects the doctrine that violence solves conflict. I believe in individual defense, but not collective aggression. Private defense agencies can offer real community safety without the drumbeat of conscription or military budgets or imperial wars. Peace is voluntary. AnCap is consistent ethics in motion. No one has the right to initiate force. Rights are not privileges. They are negative boundaries based on self-ownership. Coercion is immoral whether dressed in uniform or politics. Statism is a contradiction of reason. AnCap enforces morality mechanically across all actors, not selectively through rulers. Human societies never started with kings. They started with customary property norms and trading. Later societies had pluralistic legal codes, and places like medieval Iceland and early medieval Irish courts operated without any central coercion. Private law, compensation systems, and norm enforcement emerged from custom and mutual consent. AnCap isn't fantasy, it's recovery of historically successful decentralized legal systems that states overshadowed. I used to believe the state was the protector of rights. Then came mandates just so I could keep my job. And I had an adverse reaction to it too. And the censorship, the government cracking down on dissenters? Now I see obedience is what the state wants, not justice. Bureaucratic coercion won't work. Voluntary charity, mutual aid networks, and community care solve problems better. I'm still a liberal on compassion, but the state broke the deal. Conservatives promised restraint and tradition, but they boosted surveillance and bailouts and foreign wars. I believed in fixing it from the inside, but that didn't work, so we tried to separate, and they told us we weren't allowed to. Now I see the system can't be reformed, it's by design. AnCap showed me decentralization is the solution, not voting. If you truly believe in local self-rule and personal freedom, incrementalist policy will only let you down. I've heard from many walks of life, and each voice found their way to anarchy through a different path. There's no single personality or blueprint. But if you believe in voluntary cooperation and private ownership, if you see that government and voting are dead ends because power never existed to serve its subjects, if you understand that only the individual can decide how to live, not some abstract like the nation or the collective, and if you know that no one else has a rightful claim over your person or property, then you're one of us. If you see that authority always creates unintended consequences, you already know why AnCap matters. So, how do you describe anarcho-capitalism? Record your response or just drop a comment below, and let's show how wide the movement really is.